Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters. It is the home of the Retirement Guys Formula and America's Medicare Associates and Retirement Tax Partners with Nolan Baker. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. It's 419-794-3030 online, arhq.com. As a reminder, if you missed the first half of the show, previous segments of the show, you want to catch up, check them out. Available via podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you consume your digital media. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters. It's all there for you to check out whenever you're ready. Nolan, at some point, the fear of death got eclipsed by quite frankly, the fear of living. It is the number one concern among retirees and pre-retirees, outliving their savings, because figuring out how long you're going to live when planning retirement can be kind of tough. Well, now comes the prediction from a UCLA cardiologist that within the next decade, the life expectancy for younger people will go up to age 120, thanks to advances in stem cell therapy. In any cases, stats say that people are living longer overall, and that means that they'll have to probably fund a longer retirement. So for people that are getting ready they're in that retirement red zone, how do you calculate that longevity risk?
So when we're looking at longevity risk, what you're looking at is you're looking at the risk of outliving your financial resources in retirement. It can be influenced by, life expectancy, inflation, investment returns, withdrawal rates. So here's a couple of steps on how you can calculate longevity risk and a couple ideas on what you could do to help reduce or eliminate that type of risk. Number one is you kind of want to estimate what your life expectancy is. There's the Social Security life expectancy tables that are out there. But, really what I want you to do is kind of consider your personal health history, look at your family history. I have clients that come in that they look very healthy. They are playing pickleball, have a very active lifestyle. They've got really good genes in their family that last a long time. So they probably want to have planned for a longer, life expectancy. Other people maybe have some health issues as well. But, a 65-year-old male has about a 50% chance of living to age 85 and a 25% chance to living to age 92 or longer. So that's the first step is, kind of estimating what that longevity life expectancy is. Number two is determining your retirement savings and your income needs. So when I look at it, what I think that you should do is determine the amount of money that you need to cover your minimum monthly income needs. How much does it take to run your house? Not the fun stuff. In that case, what you then want to do is you want to try to have those from reliable income sources. So if you needed $60,000 a year to cover the basic expenses to run your house, or $5,000 a month, if you're getting $4,000 a month from things like Social Security, which would be considered reliable income, it could be a combination of Social Security and maybe a pension if you're blessed enough to have that, then the gap that you have is $1,000 a month. That would help you to determine, what is the gap, what is your savings, and what is your needs. The number three thing to do is to run a Monte Carlo simulation. So, this is a probability analysis. And, for part of our retirement team action plan, when we put that together, what we're going to do is we're going to run, thousands of possible scenarios based upon the different market returns and longevity. And within this, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it to show and develop a plan that gives us a 90+% probability of success, meaning that the likelihood is less than 10% of running out of money using that Monte Carlo simulation. If we run the Monte Carlo simulation and let's say that the probability of success is 50-50, you may not be confident about moving into retirement time with it being a coin toss. So then what we can do is start to look at different things within the planning to help you create a stronger retirement plan. Maybe that could be working a year longer. That could be spending a little bit less. That could be optimizing your investments or optimizing when you take Social Security to help you get it to that 90+% probability of success. Number four is then apply the 4% rule. That's a good rule of thumb to start with when you're thinking about, what's a safe amount to withdraw from a portfolio. It's not perfect. Again, it's a starting point. Number five is then to calculate the requirement that you need to cover any gaps. So as a minute ago, I talked about somebody who needed $5,000 a month. If they had $4,000 that were covered from Social Security and pensions, that left them about $1,000 a month is what the gap was. we can go and we can look at various financial products that will generate $1,000 a month. And we can say, how much capital is required to invest into each various vehicle to generate the $1,000 a month. And, my goal is to help people try to invest the lowest amount of capital in generating the safest amount of income that provides that $1,000 a month. And so then we look at those different choices that are out there, and that allows people to make, a better educated decision that's out there. When you're looking at longevity lists, you also want to look in factoring in things like healthcare and more specifically long-term care. So when we run this retirement team action plan for you, and we're getting you to a probability of success, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on you. And I usually pick on the guy, right?
Sure.
And I'm going to show the scenario of what happens if he ends up in a nursing home for the last 2 years of his life. And Chris, what you'll see is that many times it'll take a probability of success that at one point was 90%. And if they needed a nursing home, even 2 years in a nursing home that, the cost exceed over $100,000, it could completely derail a plan. So that longevity risk, could certainly hurt that surviving spouse if a lot of those resources are used up in a long-term care spend down. So number 7 is adjust for inflation and market volatility. Just realize that the $5,000 a month that individual that I was talking about needed is going to be higher in the future. If you look at the sequence of returns, with the market being bad maybe in the next year or the market being bad right away at retirement time, that could increase your risk of failure from longevity risk. So you want to make sure that you're taking steps to mitigate major downturns in the market. And when we're looking at mitigating the longevity risk, things that you can do is, number one, is consider maybe delaying Social Security benefits to get higher lifetime payments. There are different types of insurance products that will provide lifetime income solutions to hedge that longevity risk. You need to make sure that you're maintaining part of your assets for long-term growth to help, ensure fighting off inflation. Some people decide to transition in a retirement time by, moving to maybe more part-time work, maybe doing more consulting work, just not working full-time and not necessarily just retiring all in one day. And number 5 is just consider some flexibility in spending. So, reducing some of those discretionary spendings when the market or the economies aren't doing well, and then spending more in those years that the markets are doing a little bit better. So a lot of different ways on how we can help you look and calculate longevity risk in your situation. So if you're that person and you're worried that, do I have enough? Am I going to make it? Am I going to run out of money? We can help put you to ease and walking through that retirement team action plan. So again, encourage you to sit down and have us run that and help you put that and check it off your list.
And, I think it goes without saying that worry, that concern is not uncommon. Like I said, it is the number one concern among retirees and pre-retirees right now. I think I can speak on behalf of you, Nolan, and actually the entire team. We hope that you live a long and healthy life, but you're going to have to find a way to fund that life, and that is where having that plan comes into play. Take on this longevity risk, this concern of outliving your savings head on by putting together that retirement team action plan. You can do so by reaching out right now, 419-794-3030, or you can find out more about the team at America's Retirement Headquarters and the Retirement Team Action Plan and set up a time on the website. That is arhq.com.